Good morning. It is time for your briefing on Monday, July 20th, 2026. Multiple things to talk about today. We have a significant risk of severe storms and tornadoes across parts of the upper Midwest. That will include parts of Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Illinois. We also have Tropical Depression 2 sitting down there at the bottom of the image, spinning in the eastern Gulf. And also we have a plume of moisture across parts of the west. You can see that by the clouds and rain promoted by an upper trough that's sitting off the coast. So main focuses today are going to be the severe threat today and tomorrow, and also Tropical Depression 2, which will likely become Tropical Storm Bertha by this afternoon. So let's go ahead and dive into the forecast. So here is the severe outlook for today. We have a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk across parts of Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, and the UP of Michigan. This is mainly driven by damaging winds. So if I pull up the wind outlook, we do have a 30% chance of damaging winds. In that hatched area you see there, that's a risk for 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts or greater, although there could be potential, as it says, or greater, could be some potential for some 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts in there with any of those stronger clusters of storms that develop and as storms grow upscale into this evening. There is also a risk across parts of North Carolina and far southern Virginia for damaging winds. We'll take a look at the tornado outlook. We do have a 5% risk for tornadoes, although I won't be surprised if it does get upgraded to a 10% in a future outlook. But also you can also see that the hatched region, including mentioned potential for EF2 tornadoes or greater with some of those storms. And the hail outlook, we do have a risk for some large hail. Some of those hailstones could be 2 inches in diameter or greater. Then tomorrow we do have we also have another enhanced risk of severe storms across parts of Kentucky, Ohio, into West Virginia, Maryland, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. This is mainly, of course, again for damaging winds. 45% risk for damaging winds, so could be a fairly widespread wind event, kind of like what we saw on Saturday, just a little bit further west, with a lot of wind damage potential. Tornado threat not as high tomorrow. It was initially thought that this could be a fairly robust day. Maybe not as robust as initially thought, but of course we're still a day out, so things can change. We do have a broad 5% risk from central and northeast Kentucky to the mid-Atlantic coast, including parts of New Jersey and New York, even the far southwestern Connecticut, and including much of Maryland, all of Delaware. That will include cities like Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and New York. The hail outlook, 50% risk across parts of the Ohio Valley and into the Mid-Atlantic and Northeastern regions. And then on day 3, we do have a slight risk across parts of North Carolina, Virginia, and far northern South Carolina, with a broad marginal risk up across parts of New England. So this is going to be mainly a wind threat. Can't rule out a tornado, but this is going to be mostly just a damaging wind threat, kind of a remnant of what we see on Tuesday. Let's go ahead and take a look back at the if I can pull it up here, back at Tropical Depression 2, and we'll pull up the forecast cone. Some of these things I don't have fully set up yet, but hopefully next time we'll have more things prepared. Here is the forecast cone. You can see that the ANHC expects the system to remain a tropical storm throughout the next few days. So could become a strong tropical storm, maybe winds up to about 60, maybe even 65 miles per hour. But the main concerns across the Gulf Coast are going to be from gusty winds and heavy rain. Not expected to be a major storm like a strong hurricane or anything like that. Mostly just a wind and rain maker across the central Gulf Coast from the Florida Panhandle to southeast Texas, and then becoming a tropical depression as it gets into southeast Texas and the Houston area. So still kind of a broad cone. Some of the models do have it as far south as South Texas, and some just kind of hug the coast or even go inland and weakening it earlier. So broad solution here. In fact, I know we were saying, what was it, last week, that we didn't expect this thing to form, but that's because a lot of the guys had it going north to northeast, going into Florida, eventually to the Carolinas, where shear was stronger, and there wasn't really a lot of support for the system to strengthen and organize. But now that the system is tracking further west, is now having a westward motion, It's now avoiding that shear to the northeast from that upper trough that's producing the severe weather across the Midwest today and tomorrow. And it's now in a more suitable environment for tropical storm development and maintenance. So that's why we do expect the system to become at least a tropical storm. Unlikely to become a hurricane, can't rule it out, but we're not super confident in this being a hurricane at this time. But of course, obviously we recommend you guys continue to stay tuned to forecasts, especially from the National Hurricane Center. And of course, we'll provide updates when necessary on here. So that's the story for that fact. We will take a look at the forecast preset for a system. Let's take a look. Let's use the NBM, the blend of models. Kind of give an ensemble look at this and give you guys sort of an idea of what rainfall totals could look like over the next few days. A lot of the models have it further south. They have a system continuing further south, so staying in the northern Gulf, not really making any landfall. But coastal areas could see a good bit of rain from this, maybe 1 to 4 inches. If the system does track further north, obviously that will increase rain potential for the Gulf Coast and even some inland areas. So kind of the broad range for many areas is nothing to potentially some areas picking up 6 inches or more of rainfall, depending on, again, where the system tracks and how strong it is as well. Its strength will also play a factor into the rainfall amount. So something to pay attention to if you are along the central Gulf Coast from the Florida Panhandle to coastal Texas. So keep an eye on that over the course of this week, and of course we'll keep you updated on here as well. Let's go ahead and conclude this with the forecast temperatures today. Many areas across the country west going to be very hot with temperatures in the upper 90s and even some areas near or if not over the 100-degree mark. Much cooler across the northeastern quarter of the country, as we do have that upper trough swinging over, providing lots of cloud cover and also bringing some cooler air from the northeast as well. Much of the southeast very seasonal today. Some areas could be a little warmer in the low to mid 90s. Many areas still about seasonal today, but heat indices are going to be a little elevated today given some increased moisture. But yeah, many areas across Central Plains are going to be very hot today. Also quite hot across parts of the western states. Outside of the upper elevations and outside of areas that are covered by clouds and rain today, thanks to the upper trough sitting off the coast. So that'll do it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video and in our live severe weather coverage.